Australia's tourism sector is continuing to grow. The government's National Visitor Survey has revealed Australian tourists spent a record $62.6 billion in the year to June on domestic holidays, up 7%. It's the middle of the working week in early spring, but domestic tourists are about.
We're from Rockhampton in Queensland.
Opting for an Australian holiday.
I think it's so much easier when you've got children, and I think you've got to explore your own backyard first before you actually head into overseas.
Businesses are benefiting, like this Bondi Surf School.
Domestic tourists have increased around 20% in the past year,
forming 50% of its customer base. It reflects a national trend which reveals more Australians are preferring to holiday locally.
It's a cheaper holiday, it's a family-friendly holiday, you can take more people and do more things.
Tourism Research Australia says domestic travellers spent a record $62.6 billion last year. Add that to the record $40.6 billion by international visitors, and overnight tourists have shelled out more than $100 billion.
I think tourism is booming. We're on the cusp, if not already sliding into the golden age of tourism here.
All states, with the exception of Western Australia, saw increases in total spend by both domestic and international tourists. While the bulk of that comes from New South Wales, proportionately, Tasmania saw the biggest increase, up 24%. It's a boon for businesses, but they can't afford to be complacent.
It is all about service and visitor experience and uniqueness.
But with the Australian dollar trending higher, it does pose some challenges for the sector.
From being in operation for 23 years, when the dollar goes up, tourism slows down.
Making it harder to attract international visitors.
From Mexico City. I'm from France.
And keep Australians from spending offshore.
For locals, once it starts getting up into the 80 cents territory, it's a signal that they'd probably be thinking about going overseas.
Today, ANZ lifted its forecast for the Australian dollar to 83 US cents by the middle of next year.